champion Raptors team.
I'm superstitious, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
If I'm Fred, I'm going to have a lot of kids. So here we go. Kane Fitzgerald, Sean Corbin, and Brian Forte are our three officials. The alternate today is Nick Booker. And it's good to have you with us on NBA TV. LeVert is showing that he can, well, he's a downhill scoring guard, but he's also a passing guard, and that's who it begins, Garrett Temple.
Yeah, with that triple.
On the opposite side, Fred VanVleet was almost perfect. 8 of 10 from beyond the arc, a career best in the first one in a playoff game. That's Kyle Lowry. Matches it.
Yeah.
So triples to begin.
From 3 in that first game, 3 of 10. So different start for those two. Let's see if the outcome is any different.
Great pass. Drive and kick coming off 15 assists. Karras years old, by the way. So he's going to find a role, whether it's with Brooklyn or another team. But he's displaying the versatility, and then he's a big guard to go over the smaller guard on that drive. And on the dive, Anunoby met up there by Jarrett Allen. That's defending the rim.
Yeah, and that's what Jarrett Allen does. He is a terrific rim protector, but he's also got the versatility as Joe Harris able to not. Wasn't quite there, and you allowed maybe a team not as talented to get some confidence, and that's what's happening right now, I think, for this Nets team.
Kyle Lowry's second chance, wide open look, and make
LeVert.
VanVleet coming up short. Now the downhill guard, Karis LeVert, and a big guard at that, on the Euro and going to the line looking for the three-point play. So a surprise at the outset. It's early, but still to get it to Marcus Gasol. Turnover gives it back to Brooklyn. The surprising Nets up by a dozen as they are 8 of 11 from the field, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc overall. The lob, Jarrett Allen on the hammer.
Goes on from a tendency standpoint. You've got to understand what Brooklyn does great is they straight line drive it really well, and most guys instinctively overreact in terms of overhelping as Siakam knocks down that mid-range.
LeVert out of the break.
And you can see already a change in strategy, right? They're switching that pick and roll now because they've got a much more mobile lineup due the Raptors. A late call, but the right call. No doubt there was a lot of contact. And, you know,
way it is by Jarrett Allen. It's another turnover in a 4-point game that was just 12. And the run continues. It's now 13-0.
Of belief in how they play the game. You got to credit this group. They are the defending champs.
LeVert tried to lose a really good defender in Siakam. Corner 3, they needed it. Garrett Temple. And about 5 seconds. Separation, shot clock, and game clock. Brooklyn out shooting them 50% to 42%. What about that take by Pascal Siakam?
Did a great job. They were living in the paint. And then when Nick Nurse went to the bench and brought in some more quickness and length, he was able to then switch those pick and rolls, and they're going to get a block there and a finish by Ben.
So Chioza in there along with Kurucs, and Jarrett Allen's been out there for most of the game. Good drive and kick. Tyler Johnson, he got the triple.
Yeah, good.
Selves Toronto. You look at VanVleet, played 39 minutes, only 1 turnover. Lowry 34 minutes, no turnovers in the opening game as it's taken away. Norman Powell on the run and with the left hand. So Chris Chioza out of Florida, where he played 4 years of college ball. Now the mismatch. It'll be Powell again, all the way to the cup. And Norman Powell.
Fred VanVleet, and even though VanVleet will get credited with the turnover, it really was not his fault. It was just a breakdown on the offensive execution.
That's out of a timeout. Jarrett Allen, perfect entry. Karis LeVert back on the floor, and you can tell.
Yeah, that's harder with LeVert on the floor because he's expecting to get that pass, and that's just an ability that LeVert has that really nobody else on this current roster possesses.
Fred VanVleet coming back to his OKC days. Joe Harris can't finish.
Wow.
Boy, the work rate was great for Brooklyn.
What a sequence, man. You got to feel for the Nets to work that hard and get that many opportunities and not.
Temple over to the sideline.
And I tell you what, they've made the adjustment, have the Raptors on LeVert. Only 3 of 13 in this game thus far, even though he's done a good job with his facilitating.
How about that?
Yeah, how weird was that, right? You get traded for your brother. But he ends up making, you know, Memphis is his home.
Right.
His kids there, the whole 9. And
Kyle Lowry. So it's all but look. Struggle continues for Fred VanVleet.
And that was an example. I mean, you're just not going to get a better look than Toronto's offense created on that possession.
Can Joe Harris get going? Because he had a good first game. He had 9 in. So can they stay in the neighborhood? Into the fourth quarter is going to be the key. And the confidence will grow. Tough shot. Falling down with one hand. Free throw line.
And you know what? And partner, that's an example where Temple's got to recognize that the dribbler is being contained. No reason for you to come over. You end up creating that.
Up to 8 points, but it's required. Make it 10 points now on 10 shots. So not quite what we saw in the first game. On the take, Caris LeVert creatively around the length at the rim. In the rim efficiently. Inside of 7 left in an entertaining third. And it's slowed down like playoff basketball, hasn't it?
Yeah, intensity and physicality picking up.
Van Vliet warming up completely. And that's a long player, Siakam. So now 18 for Garrett Temple, 12 here in the fourth. Inside out, hot hand, Garrett Temple. It continues. He's up to 21. He had hands out and ready.
And if you're Tyler Johnson, you got to recognize who the hot hand is. He should have made that extra pass to get it to Temple.
What a take.
Wow.
Van Vliet. Gioza on the probe. They share the basketball. Tyler Johnson's teardrop works.
Another big.
When they decide to bring him back in. Loose stuff. It almost got away. Norman Powell with Van Vliet. And a gamble out front. Sets it up. It'll be an easy one for Ibaka. But a gamble out front.
Yeah, great 8. And he is going against as good a defense as you're going to find in the NBA. And so it's just he's not getting enough possessions where he can just kind of exhale as Norman.
So Norman Powell with the make is up to 16 points on 7 of 13. Got great position on that inbounds. They let it come in towards the rim. Tyler Johnson fills it up, and boy, do they need it. A drive.
You doing what he's done, and you say to yourself, I can do that, you know, and it helps your development.
Raptors look for their first lead of the second half, and they've got it. The guy that took the shot to the jaw, OG Anunoby. Van Vliet on the close by LeVert, who I've got a feeling is going over to the sideline on the next whistle. On the switch, Ibaka, and the biggest lead of the game now for the defending champions. They're a little bit strong, but things are breaking now for Toronto, aren't they?
Well, they're small, and they're spread out defensively, and also I think there's some fatigue involved in this, and Lowry.
What about that footwork?
Just does a great job of initiating contact, getting rosters presently constructed. I would be surprised to see Dion Waiters get an opportunity to provide an offensive spark for the team searching right now.
They got a setup man coming back. Joe Harris required. It had been 19-5 to start it up. 40% shooting for Brooklyn, 43% for Toronto, and that's their best so far. They have picked it up in the fourth. Garrett Temple on the flyby. And leaving it off. High percentage, Jared Allen. Extra pass pays off.
It should be huge if the Raptors are able to score.
Van Vliet on the switch. Deep into the clock, Powell. And I guess that's high percentage. Yeah. But Norman Powell has been on top of his game today, hasn't he?
Yeah. I got to give Jared Allen a lot of credit. He is just working his tail off. Just didn't have enough to get there.
Joe Harris gets the triple in the corner to keep it close. 5-point game, 2 minutes to play.
That was contested.
They give up the fewest points in the NBA, 106 a game. Loose stuff picked up by Harris. Now LeVert. Luau Cabarro gets the triple. 3-point game, 102-99, and plenty of time left. 5 count. It's Joe Harris. Kyle Lowry all over him. Now Temple can't save it. Turnover costs them Norman Powell, and that should do it.
And see, that to me, to force the turnover and seal the deal.